You guys just you keep coming around. I just keep hearing about you guys.
And I might need to tell Ryan to cut that up a little bit and just put it in my audio for my phone.
First of all, I love the game. I had a passion to play the game, not only football, but I love the game of golf. And what it lends to a person and the friendships you develop on the golf course.
It's been a pleasure being on the drop. I wish you guys all the best down the road.
As someone like you have that golf itch like a lot of us do.
I keep track of you, and you are moving. You are on the move.
So listen, I'm a big New Jersey golf guy. You're very kind, Mike, and you too, Ryan. It's a pleasure to be on just a couple of Jersey boys here talking about something we love. All the best. I really enjoyed it.
Today's episode is brought to you by All County Exteriors, your go-to for roofing, siding, windows, doors, and all things exterior home remodeling. As a third-generation family-owned company with over 40 years of experience, All County has earned the reputation for top-quality craftsmanship and service, far outlasting the industry standard. Whether it's a small repair or a full home upgrade, they serve both homeowners and builders across New Jersey. They're deeply rooted in the community, proudly supporting Make-A-Wish, St. Jude's, Roofs for Troops, and parents of autistic children. Thinking about a project? Now's the time. Get an instant 20% off for a limited time. Call 732-370-2780 or email them info@allcountyonline.com to schedule your free, no obligation consultation. That's 732-370-2780. All County Exteriors, quality you can trust. This is the Drop Podcast where we talk golfing in the Garden State. I'm Mike Porro, and this is Ryan Coulott.
What's up, Drop Pod people? Welcome back to another course feature that we're doing, Mike. We had a real treat today. We're down at Shoregate Golf Club. We got a beautiful view here, the 18th hole. I guess beautiful view for us, but it's a little overcast right now. A little bit of, we got the umbrella open, so we're getting a little bit of showers, but we're fighting through. We had ourselves a little bit of a day today. This place is really, really special, and we can understand why people are like, hey, shh, don't tell anybody. This is a hidden gem, and it is down south for sure. Exit 17, I think we took to get off here. So it is south, no doubt, but an absolute gem here.
Yeah, this is one of the spots I think when I had come here about a month and a half ago, I started to communicate with Greg, who's their director of golf / general manager, about, hey, listen, we need to come down here. We need to do a course feature on this place. We got to kind of blow this place up because I don't think this place gets enough attention.
Doesn't get its shine. It doesn't.
Compared to what everybody gets in Central Jersey and North Jersey. Listen, Greg was unbelievable in working with making this whole thing happen, getting us down here, getting Shaq to come down here. It was like, a perfect day to really highlight a spot that never gets talked about with other courses like the Ballyowens and the Francis Burns. Well, this place is just as good as those.
It really is. We try not to avoid recency bias, right? But when we look back at our time at Burn, Bally last year, and you think about some of the other public golf that we've played, this place is right there with all those. Yeah. It's definitely fighting for a top spot.
There's no doubt about that. Let's talk a little bit about the pricing because that is one of the things down here that it's on the expensive side. There's no two ways around it. You want a weekend tee time, and at 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's going to cost you $175 with a cart. Now, I know some people may say to me, Mike, forget about it. I'm not coming. That's fine. Yeah. But I would tell you the similar things as we said about Rock Spring. It's a treat. You're not playing it every day.
100%. And it's funny, Mike, when we were talking to Greg before the round and talking about, the pricing that it would be and all that kind of stuff, that was exactly what I thought, is that this is a Rock Spring kind of place. And unless unless money really isn't an object for you and you have an unlimited golf fund, then to me that's the comp to it. It's the Rock Spring. It's a treat. It's, hey, we're going down the shore. We rented a house, in Avalon and Wildwood, in Sea Isle, Stone Harbor, right? We rented a house. We're gonna play a really nice golf course, down there. This is it. Let's play. Hey, we're gonna get 2 rounds. We're here for here for 7 days. Let's get 2 rounds of golf in. Let's play one, that's a little less, a little more muni, and then one that's really nice.
Yeah.
This is the really nice one. This is the treat one.
Yeah, and that price, like we said, is prime time.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah, Saturday,
so,
Friday, Saturday,
right.
Sunday mornings.
So if you're down here on the vacation, as you're saying, you want to come out on the weekends, or a weekday at like a 3:00, it's going to cost you $100, right? So, and that seems to be the price that we've seen repeatedly doing this. So, maybe that weekend morning just doesn't work, but the afternoon does. Okay, now we're talking a little bit of a bargain, I would like to think, in terms of what you're getting.
100% that's the case. And again, like we can talk, Mike, about like the vacation, because I think that's what I would gather is a lot down here, right? If you're talking about a vacation, go to the beach in the morning, go have lunch, come play golf, right? Then go home, you can meet the family for dinner. And like you said, you're in a perfect range for that.
Yeah, and I'm super pumped that you got to see this course again in the same conditions that I did about a month and a half ago. Because when I came back from that place, I said to you, like, I got a hot take here.
You did. You said hot take was exactly the term you used.
And that thing kind of blew up on social media about, like, how do you have this being top 3? And then I have other people saying, like, shh, stop telling people about it. But I think one of the things that we got to see really is a really, really high quality, in great shape golf course. And kind of let's go through the front 9. What are some areas on the front that you really like, some holes that kind of stood out? And kind of what do you remember from our visit here probably 2 years ago when we first kind of started the podcast?
Yeah, I do feel like we should go back and look. I wonder what course this was that we played together.
We played here, and then we ventured south to go play.
We played Cape May National.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, I think that was the day. Yeah, but again, feel like it was super early. Hole 1, you're right off the bat. You got a little bit of a shoot there, kind of going through the tree line there. Dogleg left ish little bit. You think like, okay, we're gonna get off to a nice start. Fairway looks nice and wide, right? But it is very tree lined, and as both our golf balls found on hole 1, the wind was blowing hard left to right. And if you can catch a bad bounce, or you can get a bad kick like I did, and the wind continues to push it, you don't necessarily realize that while you're in this shoot that there was there. And then hole 2 is a beautiful hole over the water there. You gotta, you really gotta hit a good drive to get there. And then I think, you're kind of into the teeth of it there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those are really where the meat of it is. And that's not to say, that's to take away a 200-yard par 3 and a 600-yard par 5 at 8 and 9. But hole 3 with those bunkers along the right there, and they had clearly done work. I remember last time, like, it was kind of gnarly, the rough there, and this clearly looked new for whatever they're working on there. I don't know if it's new grass, or it was definitely newly sodded, right? 3 is excellent. 4 was excellent. 5 is great par 3, right? Could you give us a worse pin today? It was tucked tight left over the water, over a bunker. It was brutal. 6, another par 5 that you got to make sure that you put a couple good shots together, because you got to be in between those bunkers, because if you're in between the bunkers and the fairway, you're going to struggle there. And then up to a green that is, rather difficult. 7, waist bunker all down the right. So I like to give you the amen corner usually, and that is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 holes. So that's the typical Ryan Coulott. I'll give you 3 holes, and then I give you 5. So
yeah, listen, I think everything you mentioned there was very good. I think number 3 is a hole to me that kind of clearly stands out, along with number 7. Those 2 holes in the front 9, really from an aesthetic standpoint, is like, wow, that's so well done. The bunkering is good. I know you said this out there, and I'm not sure if we got it on camera, but it gave a lot of Union League National vibes.
It does.
The way the bunkering is well manicured around the sides and the edges. It's solid sand inside it. And it just from a picture standpoint, it's like, wow, that hits.
Yeah, it really did. And not only that, Mike, you talk about, like, those are your 2 holes. They coincide with each other. So they kind of bend, the same way. They got the same kind of features, and that, you know, kind of makes sense there. And Mike, I'll say it. I looked at 6 there. Look at that aerial there. Like, you really got to play Klinko going in between those bunkers, right? Like, that's pretty wild. You didn't necessarily think it looked like that, but yeah, pretty wild there. And then as we come to a close there, you got, like I said, a 200-yard par 3 that, you know, if you're into the wind, it could be playing 230. You know, so really tough. And then a beautiful closing hole. Yeah. 9 is a really great hole. 9
is so good. I think it's one of those holes that not only is it long and demanding, the green is very tough as well. But I think the view you get from behind the 9th green, just kind of looking back into like the oasis, it just hits. The water's sparkling right there. You got the whole set up, little dog leg left. Yeah, I think looking back from 9 back to that side is just so good.
I think you said it perfectly there. A little oasis. When you look back, you got a lot. You have the pond there, or the lake, or whatever you want to call it, right? And then behind it, can you call it a waste bunker? It's one bunker, but it goes for like 200 yards, right? So you have that whole bunker down, down the left-hand side of the fair. So you're looking back at that. I think oasis is a good term for what you got there on hole 9, and kind of hold on to your hat. You got to put 3 really good shots to get onto the green there.
Yeah, it's a very challenging front 9. It's a very long front 9. Granted, we played the blue tees. It's just under 6,800 yards in total distance. But when you're talking about a slope of 145, I think that kind of speaks to how hard as well the golf course is. It's not one of those golf courses where, you're going to make a ton of birdies and you're going to be able to put up a really good number. But I do think it's one of those ones that, like, when you hit high quality golf shots, you're going to be rewarded.
Yeah, I would agree. And I would say the opposite too. If you're going to hit bad shots, you're going to be punished, as I found out, often out there. I didn't play particularly well, and that has nothing to do with, how I love the course. It's not like I'm never coming back. I hate it here, nothing like that. But it is punishing. If you're going to hit, I have that fade, right? So hole 1, it was going great, and then the wind pushed it a little bit. It hits into the, a down slope, goes into the trees, right? You get, instead of being in the right rough, now I'm under the trees. I got to try punching out. It can be, pretty daunting there. So any shot that's just a little bit off way is going to get punished for sure.
Are you looking for the perfect place to tee it up this season? Or just looking for a great spot for casual comfort food? Or the most picturesque backdrop for the wedding of your dreams? Then you need to visit Galloping Hill Golf Course in Kenilworth, New Jersey. Galloping Hill has 18 holes of championship level golf open all year round. They also offer a top 50 in the country learning center that also includes the swing suite at Galloping Hill for those bad weather days during the season, in addition to a 9-hole course that is ranked in the top 10 of short courses in the entire country. Galloping Hill is more than just golf. The Hill Tavern Bar and Grill is a gastro pub with seasonal food and beer options updated regularly with amazing views of the course. Hosting over 150 golf outings and over 400 social events per year, their catering team wins awards each year from the Knot and Wedding Wire. Schedule a tour for your special event at the clubhouse at gallopinghill.com. To top it all off, Galloping Hill will be hosting the New Jersey Men's Public Links Championship for the record 12th time. It's all happening this year at Galloping Hill. And I think that kind of just gets you to the back 9 where, it's a little different in terms of what you see compared to the front 9. It's different. I kind of think the stretch on the back 9 from 13, 14, 15 is one of those stretches of 3 holes that, like, it just stands out so much. And that's not to take away anything else from the other holes. It's just that stretch and that nook of the property where you're kind of going out a little bit. It's just those 3 holes and you kind of come back in. It's just so good over there. It's so good in every which way.
The back does have that, like, you kind of go off for 10, 11, and then you're in this, like, Well, 12 kind of gets you there, but then like this little nook of like 13, 14, 15 is what I would you want my amen corner. That's the amen corner of what I would call here, because those 3 holes are really, really good.
Yeah, and I think again, it's one of those things that we said a lot about Union League National and the bunkering, but man, when you got onto 13 and you saw all those bunkers and how well they were on the left-hand side, and then you do got the water on the right there that it's kind of like creeps out. The fairway kind of ends at like the 280 mark from the blue tee, so it's you've got to be very precise.
Not necessarily a driver. Yeah, you might want to be something more of a maybe 3-wood, maybe something that you're going to be a little more precise with, because again, the fairway runs out, bunkers are out there, the water's there. You got water in a waste bunker as well. Like you got a lot of stuff to maneuver through.
Yeah, and obviously, being out there in the back nine, it started to rain a little bit, so conditions got even harder. It got even softer, which, for someone like us that, counts on the rollout, when you're not getting it, it makes it a little even longer than we are typically used to playing. So even when you got to like 15, pretty demanding tee shot, you got the water there, you got the bunkers out on the left. Like I know I hit 3-wood there on 15. Then you get to 16, you're like, all right, I'm going to try to get one back. Just it's hard. And then 17's a very, very challenging par 3. We played it at 191 yards, so that's no joke of a hole coming in. And I thought one of the things a lot about the back nine is it was very undulating. It was up, it was down, it was side hill, it was downhill lies, which again, if you lose focus a little bit on that approach shot, you can definitely hit it awry. Yeah. And that you saw it at times from both of us where, we're hitting bunker shots. It's like, okay, here we go. See if we can grind this one out. Yeah. Or you're trying to carve one through the trees. So, that was one of the things about the back nine I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you. There's a lot more, maybe Ballyone's the only other public that we've seen like it, but a lot of the fairways are just have these little like mounds in them. Yeah, where it's very, you got to watch out for it, because if you're not on a flat lie, or you think you are, and it's just a little above your feet, now you're going to draw it a little bit more than you thought. Now put you in precarious situations.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, about the back nine. I think they're both very solid nines. I do think that. I don't know if I think the back nine is better than the front nine. I just think that stretch of 13, 14, 15 just hits better than any other stretch on the front. And that's no, slap in the face to the front, because I still love 3 and 7. I think those are 2 good holes. But I think that stretch out there kind of just makes the whole back nine. I do.
Does the water around those holes, because again, you look at the course map, and while I'm using it to make sure we don't get water on our devices here, but also that water, that pond is in play kind of for every hole. Like 14, it's not in play, but you're looking at water, right? So is it maybe something that aesthetically, like we looking at water?
Yeah, I don't know.
The water with the sand, it looks kind of beachy. It's a good view,
Yeah, I think when things are as well maintained as they are here, I think that's really what makes it stand out, because we've seen spots that, it looks like, is water supposed to be in the waste bunker? Is it not supposed to be there? Is it just like poor irrigation? Yeah. This place, there's meaning behind it, and I think
no, don't get it twisted. It's clearly a pond that they have built. Right, there happens to be waste bunker around it, but there is design to all this.
And I think that's the architecture side of it, where it's like, okay, wow, you kind of like that. That's kind of, that works, that fits. It's not just kind of plopped in there, which is, I think another good job that these guys have done when it comes to developing and architecture on the side of the golf course.
Yeah, no doubt. Those guys, going back to 2002, it opened, and I know you were looking for it before. Did you see I had?
Oh yeah, Ron Freem and David Dale, golf course architects.
We got the Golf Plan is their company. So there's the architects. Yeah, they really did a good job. And Mike, I think this is another one where we talked about it before. I mentioned it when we did when I discussed Pine Barrens on the pod. You come through here and like these guys created just such wonderful golf holes and how they can see it and develop it, and it's really amazing. This place is really great. And it's really only going to get better when you talk about like any upgrades that they're starting to talk about making, like a clubhouse and some of the things that they're looking to do. It really is a great spot.
Yeah, listen, I'll say this. I don't think it's going to be a hidden gem for much longer. And I know the people down here in South Jersey may get even more mad at us for coming down here to highlight this place. But I think, it's due. I think this place is special. It's unique. It's challenging but fun.
Yeah.
It's one of those spots that I know I made a hot take a month and a half ago that's saying it's in the top 3. And I think after being here again, that further justified everything I had said about this place. Because I just felt like this place was so damn good.
I don't disagree. Not a hot take. I can jump on record and say that was not a hot take. This place is special. Don't know if it's going to be the number 1 spot, but it is definitely you start talking about, hey, this is the number 1 spot, you're justified in at least thinking that we can have a conversation about it.
Yeah, because when you're talking public golf in the Garden State, I know we talk about Central Jersey, the Monmouth counties. We talk about Essex County a lot. But I'm telling you, this is a sleeping giant down here that I know for a lot of us, you don't want to venture down and see this spot because the ride is what it is. But I'm telling you, when you pull into this parking lot and you see the well-designed, gate as being welcomed in, it's like, okay, I'm about to go into something which looks very exclusive.
How cool is that entrance there? Like, it's a very strange, like you go through the light, you're like,
where am I
got to turn around. This
going?
is a dead end, right? Then you hit, there's that the sign that's got all the brick to it, and you're like, okay, this is a special place.
It has a lot of country club, private golf course
really
vibes
does.
On that entrance, and you're like, okay, I know I'm in for a treat. And it's one of those places that clearly lives up to its expectations as you're pulling in, because you start to stereotype it, like, oh, this is going to be a really nice place, and sometimes you get let down. You will not get let down.
Nope,
here.
certainly don't.
So obviously, I always seem to put you on the spot with these questions, and I know I'm not getting the rating right now. We'll hold that, for further episode. But trying to take out the recency bias and some of my strong opinions for you. What was your take about this golf course compared to the other publics that we've seen throughout this podcast journey?
So I think when we talk about like Burn, Bally, Hominy,
you got to throw in the Shannock.
You might throw it in the Shannock, yeah. Here, like I think those are, and I know I thought,
there's a lot in the conversation.
I think you're looking at like this place is a top 5 place. Some of those others, I would say, like, it's a top 10, but it's not a top 5. It's like, the talk about like quarterbacks, right? When you had like Eli or Peyton and Tom Brady, they were elite. And then, you had a second group there. So I think when you try to look at like separation there, that's where you're going to kind of find some minutia, and that's where we got to think a little bit more about it. But this place is I'd feel pretty solid saying this is a top 5 place in New Jersey.
Yeah, and I listen, I think it's better than top 5, and I know people argue with me in the price, Mike, the price. I understand that, but I like to say this a lot. Like, sometimes you pay for quality.
You're definitely paying for what you get here. And yes, is it expensive? Sure. Yes, is it a treat? And you should treat it as a treat. Like, again, I want to play. I'm going to get to play 2 nice golf courses this year, right? I'm going to splurge. Like, I usually play my local munis. I usually play, this place, that place. Like, I want to extend myself a little bit. And you get to do that 1, 2, 3 times a summer. This is a place to extend yourself a little bit. You're not going to be disappointed here. It's in fantastic shape. The track is good. The layout is phenomenal. Everything that we've always said about this place is really, really good. It is country club vibes without being a country club.
And is it worth the drive? Now, I know for me, the drive is a lot different for you. And normally it's the other way around. I'm normally one trucking an hour and a half, an hour 45, 2 hours. But like, you made the hike down.
Yeah.
Is it worth it for those people in your area?
It is. It 100% is. I wouldn't suggest playing on a Friday afternoon. Right. But like, we came down on a Monday. There's no traffic on the Parkway. Right. Traffic going the other way for sure, but not going south. So it is. And it's not It's really wasn't bad. Coming from Red Bank was an hour and a half. And yeah, that's a little bit, but like you look at some of these other places, like we're going close by, so to speak, and it's 50 minutes. So you're talking about less than double that for something that's new, excellent. Get yourself, a good test of golf to see where your game is. I think I would say it's a no-brainer.
So listen, I don't know how many more positive things we can say about our time here. This place is truly unique. It's no longer going to be a hidden gem or a little person that sleeps and doesn't get talked about, because boy, oh boy, our goal is to bring this place to life. And I think you need to come down here. You need to see this, because you're going to be DMing us saying like, okay, you guys are right. It was worth the drive. Okay. Everything met or exceeded expectations. This is a must-play public golf course in the state of New Jersey.
It's a no doubt, no-brainer. You got to do it.
So listen, that's all we got. Come down all the way down to Ocean View, New Jersey. Check out Shoregate Golf Club. Thanks to Greg and his staff for hooking it up. Got anything else?
I do want to give Greg a shout out, right? The outside operations here is, when you talk about a public golf place, not always are the cart guys as organized, or the the cart girl was going around, the outside stuff that's not necessarily. We talk about a country club place. This place is doing it right there. They got all of those those little things that you kind of go overlooked when you're looking at playing a public place, where you can just throw your bag down, tie your shoes on in the parking lot and come over. Like, you got carts waiting. You got guys here to clean your clubs. They're putting the clubs away. The golf carts are really nice. They're neat. They're clean. You got a grass driving range and mats for, they're probably doing mats during the week, grass on the weekends kind of thing. All of those, like, I would just kind of lump them as like intangibles, right? Yeah. Like, this place is doing all those things right. So shout out to all those people not to name everybody, but the Greg and his staff are doing a great job here from stem to stern.
Unsung heroes of a golf course that kind of make this whole place move in a positive direction.
For sure.
So, listen, come check out Shoregate Golf Club. I got nothing else.
Yeah. Till next time.
Till next time.
Cheers.